What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive, and faster than a speeding bullet Supercliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, we are continuing onward with Superman issue number 2. But before we dive into Joshua Williamson's epic take on the Man of Steel, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's dive into the adventures of DC's Golden Child with Superman issue number 2. Our story picks up with Superman, and it's here where DC's Man of Tomorrow is getting ambushed by the villainous Parasite. However, what's different about this encounter is the fact that Parasite, well, he isn't by himself. Rather, we're getting several clones of the villain, and all of them are doing what Parasite does best, sucking energy away from Superman. Now, Superman is able to escape this attack. However, once he gets himself to the rooftop, he sees that the entirety of Metropolis has lost power. From there, we check in with the bad guys, but not Superman's, Lex Luthor's rogues gallery. And it's here where we see a diverse group of mad scientists who are all arguing with each other, debating whether or not they should have launched their new takeover against Metropolis. Should they have unleashed a newly upgraded version of Parasite onto the city? Basically, they're all trying to see if they can come to some, mutual understanding. However, one of the bad guys named Graft, seemingly the only one who can understand Dr. Farm, begins to translate the scientist's words. Keep in mind, he's doing this while Dr. Farm is cutting up Bizarro on the operating table. Basically, Graft lets everyone know that Metropolis was once in our possession. And so with Luthor's recent incarceration, this is now an opportunity to take back what was once ours. Essentially, our upgrades to Parasite will help bring back our brand of chaos to the city, and we will be rewarded in the process. For Dr. Farm is a man of vision, and sure, his means may be, difficult to comprehend, but in the end, he knows how to help people in the best way. In other words, he knows how to hurt people. From there, we check over at LexCorp, which has now become SuperCorp. And it's here where an army of Parasite clones are sucking in all the power, while simultaneously, Mercy is doing her best with evacuating the staff to a safer place, and she's doing this while fending off clones of Parasites. Fortunately, Superman arrives just in the nick of time to save the day, as he uses his cold breath power, creating a giant ice barricade. And knowing that Parasite has never been a fan of his ice powers, the ice barrier should seemingly keep the swarm at bay. Now, when it comes to Parasite's power, whenever he drains energy, he gets bigger. But that's not what's happening here. Instead of getting bigger, he's multiplying as a result, which is something entirely new. Now, Superman is under the impression that this all stems from the fact that Luthor's enemies are making a play for the city, and what's happening with Parasite is a result of that. Suddenly, Lex Luthor from his cell starts to communicate with Clark, given he knows that Superman's superpowered hearing will be able to pick up his voice. Lex lets the Man of Steel know that he's created a contingency plan if something like this were to ever happen. However, in order to stop Parasite, Superman has to free Lex. But Superman is like, absolutely not. Because Superman is by no means going to play the part as Lex's lapdog. Whether Lex has a plan or not, ideally there's going to be something villainous about it. With Lex, it's never just that simple. Therefore, Superman is going to do things his own way. The Superman way. Thus, he tells Mercy to turn Supercorp's power back online. That way they can draw in and tempt Rudy to the main power source. From there, Superman is getting into contact with the Superman family. Basically, he wants to get a status update in order to make sure that everyone is doing okay. Now, fortunately, much like our hero, the members of the Superman family have done their best to evacuate the city, while also using their freezing powers to barricade the entire city, in order to prevent Parasite clones from escaping. However, it's here where Jonathan informs his dad that Lois is missing. And so because Clark loves his wife, times 3,000, he flies away and immediately begins searching for Lois, to which the search leads him to the Daily Planet. But once he makes his way inside, Superman is met with a new face in town, for he is met with Marilyn Moonlight. And seemingly she's a hero, someone who intends to save Metropolis. However, it turns out she's not the biggest fan of Superman, as she gives him a warning shot, because going forward, Metropolis's nights are now haunted, and the legend of Marilyn Moonlight rides again. And from there, she disappears. However, once she disappears, her light seemingly recharges Superman back to full health, while also receiving a quick vision of what seemingly was, Metropolis way back in the 19th century. Now it's here where Lois shows up, calling out for Clark to help her. But surprise, mofos, because yes, although this is indeed Lois Lane, she is not herself. Almost like she's been infected with Parasite's power. And while she's attacking Clark, everyone hiding in the Daily Planet starts to come out. And it's the same deal. Everyone is looking like they've been infected by Parasite. And they look hungry. Hungry for Superman's power. And that, folks, was the end of Superman issue number 2. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly, truly means the world to me. So yeah, this was another great issue by writer Joshua Williamson and artist Jamal Campbell. Chef's kiss to the art. Superman issue number 2 was another fun action adventure. Much like the first issue, Williamson writes the story like a good old-fashioned Superman story. The animated series is literally screaming all throughout. The characters feel intact. What's cool is the continuing theme of what Superman is and represents, whereas someone like Lex Luthor represents selfishness and corporate greed. Both Williamson's writing and Jamal Campbell's amazing and fantastical artwork relay the message that Superman is a force for good, and that no matter what, no matter the situation, Superman will always look to do the right thing. Not only does the story continue to work really well, but the book also introduces some new concepts to Superman's lore. It's here where we meet Marilyn Moonlight, and we get the sense that because of her Moonlight powers, it's enough to recharge Superman to full health. And so it sort of begs the question, the Earth's sun is what gives Superman his powers, but what if the Moonlight was amplified to the equivalent of that of the sun? What would his powers be like? Would they be different? Overall, Superman issue number 2 continues to be a fun classic Superman time, adding mystery and intrigue, but while also teasing new concepts for Superman writers to possibly play with. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, Supercliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top-tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 3? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.